Good day and welcome. I'm Andrew Hutchings from Asset Servicing Times, and I'm pleased to be joined by María Santos from SIX. We're going to be talking about trade repositories today, and in particular one, REGIS-TR, the trade repository of the SIX Group, which is a market leader in Europe. Before we start, and for the benefit of viewers who are well and truly outside Europe, could you say a little about what a trade repository is and why trade repositories exist and why they started?
Okay, nice question. And but before starting, could I clarify that at SIX we have two TRs. We have REGIS-TR that is covering mainly the European space, and SIX-TR that is covering the Swiss regulation, just for clarification. And yeah, the trade repository is quite an important and a very interesting figure for the financial stability system of the world. And they were born, the trade repositories, as a result of the financial crisis of 2007, 2008, where the over-the-counter derivative market, the OTC market for instruments known as credit default swaps, their volume had grown exponentially since the late 90s, was a trigger for a deep financial crisis. So supervisors and regulators around the world observed a profound lack of understanding regarding the levels of leverage and risk exposure reached by the financial institutions. So suddenly they found out they didn't have an idea what was going on, and the interrelation on these financial instruments created along the economy. So supervisory authorities and regulators, together with political representatives, designed and implemented a new framework for the supervision and control of risk due to derivative market, with particular focus on OTC. So this is precisely where trade repositories were born, because since that moment, all the financial entities dealing with OTC and with exchange trading funds have to report on a daily basis their operations. This information is then sent to the supervisors and regulators so they can check the financial stability of the system. So basically, it's for them to have a view of the risk the companies are taking through the investment in this kind of assets.
Maria, thank you very much. Therefore, I presume that if you operate a trade repository, a TR like SIX or Regis, your clients are the counterparties to those derivative deals. They're the banks and the traders who are thinking up situations, doing deals, and trading swaps and other derivatives.
Well, we do not do deals. We just get the information of the deals.
I know, that's what I mean. Yes.
Yes. And we get it.
Yes.
And
you are the record keeper, and your clients are the deal makers.
That's it. And there's an important also difference between the regulations. For example, the European regulations such as ESG-TR and EMIR are double-sided regulations where the counterparties need to report both sides, and then there is a reconciliation process at the end of the day to match and pair the counterparties' information and to make sure that both counterparties have informed the same information. So there's an inter-TR reconciliation between TRs and intra-TR, which happens when the customer is reporting both legs to the same trade repository. So that's a key difference with other regulations such as Dodd-Frank, which is the American regulation, the Canadian regulation, APAC, etc. That it's Swiss regulation as well, FINFRAC, that they are just one-sided reporting. So European regulation is much more complex than the other regulations, particularly EMIR and ESG-TR.
Thank you. One thing that's been spoken about is your refit implementation. Could you explain briefly what refit is and what you did and how it's successful?
Well, implementing EMIR Refit was a huge challenge for the whole industry, for market participants and for trade repositories. Refit is the European regulation of transaction reporting for derivatives, and it changed completely European derivative regulatory reporting landscape. It introduced new data, it introduced new fields, it introduced a new format to submit the files. It was a whole change in the whole industry. It was a huge challenge. It was hard, but this is precisely the kind of task that a TR can perform, because we are already trained to navigate through changes in the regulation at the same time that we are delivering the services to the customers, and at the same time we operate our license under a very strict supervisory framework. Yeah.
When did Refit happen?
This Refit happened in April 2024, and we had 2 years to implement it. And we went through a long journey to have this ready. In the case of REGIS-TR, it was not only a matter of implementing the new regulation, we took the opportunity also to develop a completely new platform. So we had this double challenge to implement all the changes of the regulation together with implementing a new platform, which was also a challenge to our customers. Well, that was a journey we did all together. We learned a lot of things. We understood how important is to engage from the very beginning internal and external stakeholders, because these kind of changes impact and not only the TR, but a lot of areas of the TR, and not only one customer, but a lot of areas of the customer. So for us, it was very important to engage from the very beginning, legal, IT, compliance, product design, the customer and the supervisor, to have all the same understanding and to prevent misalignments that could lead to rework or could even cause delays in the implementation. That is the same as the interpretation of the law. I mean, if you read the law, you can interpret a different thing that the product designer, and then a different thing that the IT developer. So this alignment between all people involved is also very important to guarantee the good delivery of the service.
It seems to me that if you're in the TR business, then one thing you have to be able to do is cope with very large scale and complicated regulatory change, but do it under time pressure.
Yes, I'm not going to say no. And I don't know how it would have been without making the platform, developing the new platform at the same moment. Okay. But definitely Refit, we know from other TRs and we know from the customers that was a huge challenge for the whole industry, because it was a quite big change, because customers had to change the way they report, the way they connect. They had to learn a new language. It's quite different, and in addition to that, the SLAs are now more strict in the sense that we need to deliver responses very quickly to the customer. So a lot of things changed for everybody, and and our customers suffer, so to speak, a completely new platform. So they had to learn at the same time the regulation and the platform. And for this, we were implementing UAT environments and making sure that everybody was testing the same at the same time to make sure, that we were on the good way. But yes, you have to be trained to manage, these regulatory changes which are sometimes stressful.
Right. Now, tell me a little more about the new platform. I take it that it's good news because it means that your clients can comply with the new Refit rules, but it's also good news because it does other things. Is that correct?
Yes, I mean, well, with the legacy platform, they were able to comply as well, because we were already at TR, so we were already complying. But we felt that we need to evolve the platform and that we needed a change. So the purpose was like double. On the one side, to be prepared and to build a scalable and modular platform that would enable us to grow no matter the volumes that we were receiving. And we all know that we are living uncertain times, so we can be subject to volatility at any moment. So we need to be prepared to receive volumes and volumes of data with no impact on the customer. So that on the one side, and on the other side, also we wanted to make like a more friendly platform to accommodate regulation changes, for us to implement them, but also for the customer to implement them, to make easier the life of the customers in that sense.
Yes.
That on the one side, and on the other side, we wanted to start delivering value-added services to our customers based on these on the platform. So it's not only scalable and modular, but it's also it provides real-time streaming, big data processing, full traceability from the definition to the full test. I mean, some technicalities, some technical issues, you know, that now customers are appreciating how quick we are in implementing things and how secure we are in implementing them. And we also provided the customers with new dashboards where they can see in real time, anytime, the status of the files they are submitting to the platform, not only those accepted one, but also the rejected one, and they can drill down up to the very end of the file to see the errors of the potential rejection, and to analyze if they have systemic errors that are taking place on a systemic basis. And we also understand that the data is the customer's data, so they are trusting us for regulatory purposes. So we feel that we have to we owe them, and that we need to deliver value-added services through this data. So we take their data and we try to segment it, and so that the customer can manage his own data with different criteria to improve the quality of their reporting. So as a summary, they can analyze the quality and how healthy their reporting is.
Thank you. Now that makes a lot of sense to me. It seems that to be a leader in the trade repository space, you've got to be able to deal with large-scale regulatory change, which we've already discussed. You've also got to have a system that is robust, scalable, and flexible, just in case there is an explosion in trading for whatever reason. And thirdly, you've got to be able to provide a great customer experience with a user-friendly dashboard and insights from data. Could you tell us a little bit about the sort of insights that come from the data that you handle, bearing in mind that, of course, it's also the customer's data?
Well, data is the new gold, and everything is data today, and this is a business of data.
Yes.
So yeah, so our vision is to be the most trusted source of regulatory reporting data in Europe. And this starts with data quality by design, with the robust validations, reconciliations, anomaly detections that at the end produce cleaner data, and extends to customer outcomes, fewer breaks. They can fix things in a very easy way. They can remediate things very quickly, and they can provide clear evidence to supervisors, to boards, to auditors. So that's why it's so important to keep this quality. Talking about data, our market leading position in the EU, which is more or less 55% of the EMIR flow, comes through our trade repository, according to the last publication of the public data of the Q1, that enable us to provide services based on this data on an aggregated and anonymized way. So this is a surprise, and we will be launching very soon some benchmarking tools so that the customer can take advantage and can benefit of our leading position in Europe, and to compare himself in terms of pairing and matching and reconciliation data against the peers, against the industry. So he will be able to see which is his position in the market. Together with that, we will be launching new data quality indicators that will also provide the customer information about how healthy and accurate is the reporting they are delivering.
In short, if you have a market share of 55% of the market, it's not quite right to say you are the market, but it is fair to say that you are most of the market. And therefore, you can put any client's position in a very good context.
Yeah, and we want and we appreciate the trust of our customers. You know, we've been together, you know, for many years, going through also difficult times, you know, and stressful times. But yeah, we are like a team, and we love to engage with them.
One thing I've learned from years working with and talking to people in, want a better phrase, financial market infrastructure, is that client centricity is very important. One may be an institution that's essentially collating data or running a trading platform, but one must always remember one's clients and must always have a client-centric approach. Can you give us one or two examples of how REGIS-TR is a client-centric organization?
Well, I mean, you need to be customer-centric in all areas of your life, because at the end you are surrounded by customers in your personal and professional life. So, and the way to deliver the best service to your customer is by engaging with them, and you have to understand their needs. You also have to understand which is the role of the trade reporting in their you know, in the whole journey. I mean, in their, you know, in their occupation. So you need to ease and to simplify the complexity of the reporting for the client. This is our main goal in all aspects. So on the reporting side, we guarantee robust validation. So don't worry about the data. I'm going to validate it for you, and you will get the perfect answer for you to improve the data that you are reporting. A good reconciliation. We're delivering also these self-service analytic services that empower them to look at their data and to fix and to remediate the things. That's one thing. On the other side, all these processes of onboarding that took so many hours and times in the past, this new platform came with a new tool that is called MED, Master Entity Data, which is an onboarding tool that streamlines the processes of onboarding, managing the contract, managing invoices, managing users, managing the profiles of the users. So at the end, any customer can be onboarded within REGIS-TR in minutes, in an automated process without friction. So that's also something that our customers have really appreciated. For the change of the new Refit platform that customers could report before in CSV format and now in XML, we try to make things easy to them by delivering them XML, CSV to XML conversion tool. So you don't need to change your reporting. Just give us your CSV. We will convert it for you. We will send it to you for your revision, and then you can submit it to us. But don't spend time, don't spend money in making a new file to be submitted. We will be launching very soon as well the alleged and the pre-alleged report, so that counterparties that gives visibility to and match trades before the information reaches the supervisor. So these are like quality checks that we are making for the customers, that as soon, you know, as they get managed to them and they correct things and they can fix whatever needs to be fixed, then everything will be much easier for them. And finally, these benchmarking tools that I mentioned before. Not only that, but we also host webinars every time there is a regulatory change, or anytime they want to review MED, they want to review whatever functionality we are delivering. We organize these webinars with customers, and we're very happy with them because it's a way to stay close to them. And the average of people connected to our webinars is 600 people, which is something marvelous. And we gather together and we exchange opinion. That's one thing. We also organize informal breakfast or meetings with our customer on on a per area basis in the different locations of SIX. And so we have this opportunity to engage with customers on a per country basis, just in case they have different views or different needs, whatever. And we also have our leading podcast that I'm sure you know, which is leading also in the sector, and where we treat a lot of things related to TRs always, but also to post-trade, which is also very, very interesting for our customers. And finally, we have our client event, which is an annual client event that we organized. Last time what was in Madrid, this time will be in Zurich in October on the 17th, and is the perfect place for all of us to meet together with leadership sessions run by external and internal specialists in the TR world and in the regulation world. And it's a very good moment with more than 120 clients all together, and we exchange our experience and we network, and we really love this event with our clients.
Excellent. Thank you very much for explaining the client focus of REGIS-TR.
Yes, no, but it's essential. It's essential. At the end, at the end, you work for your customers, and at the end, the delivery of the perfect service is the service that the customer has defined. So you need to understand very well their needs, and you don't want to make noise in the customer's life. So you just need to ease their life. That's the goal.
At the beginning of our discussion, you explained how TRs happened as a response to the problems of the global financial crisis of 2007-2008. If I had to describe the cause of the crisis in one word, that word would be opacity, which means darkness or shadow. And opacity implies no trust, it implies no transparency, and it implies no data integrity. TRs, of course, dispel the opacity, they bring light. So once you have TRs, you have trust, you have transparency, and you have data integrity. And that is an enormous change, and one that's perhaps not so well understood. But that's the past. Now we're in 2025, and looking forward, what do you see as the major trends, changes, and above all, opportunities for TRs?
There are big changes coming. So, I mean, on the trend side, I presume the supervisors will keep insisting on the data quality, because at the end, this is a matter of data quality. And the better the data is, the better supervisors will be able to control the stability system and to see how everything, which is the level of risk within the market. So that's one thing. So we expect that the regulators will keep pushing on the data quality, for example, with better performance in period matching, or life cycle reporting a little bit cleaner. Things like that. So data quality would be the key driver for the coming years.
Yes.
That's one thing. Then the operational resilience, all these cyber attacks and all these that after the DORA implementation. So I presume that this is becoming more and more important, and this is becoming a threat, and this is an obligation, that requires a lot of resources and requires a lot of dedication, and also you need to give comfort to the customer. So I understand that TRs are in a very good position here, because they can guarantee, with SLAs, they can guarantee a transparent handling of any potential thing that may happen. So this is also an opportunity, at least, for the TRs, because they are already very solid infrastructures in the market. Also, I see that the customers do not exclusively want the record keeping. and the regulatory compliance. They just want value-added services. So they will be favoring TRs providing, a holistic view from the beginning to the end, and value-added services that enable the customer not only to report and to comply, but also to have a better view on the quality of the data and which are the internal processes they need to enhance in order to improve the quality of the data that they are reporting. And then, yes, we have this regulatory convergence in the horizon after the call for evidence that ESMA published in June. I think it was in June, and that needs to be responded this month of September, and with the aim to simplify the regulatory reporting.
Yes.
They are proposing different solutions. They are proposing the elimination of the potential overlaps in the regulations, which is something that also makes sense. They are also proposing this single report way of approaching the reporting, just consolidating across regimes. So if you ask me, because I know you are going to ask me, which is the position of REGIS-TR regarding this call for evidence, I mean, my impression is that in our view, the TRs, we are in a unique position to support this convergence. Because we already have the infrastructure, we already have the technology, we already have the data expertise, and we already have this view cross regime. So we are in a very good position to play the leading role that is needed to implement all these measures.
I feel that all questions that could be asked have been answered, and I therefore thank you very much indeed. This has been a great discussion, Maria. Thank you.